guys, it's Dan Book Nook Noggin here with another video. This time I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've contemplated doing this over the years I've had my BookTube channel, but I never really did it. And I was wondering, so I went ahead and I asked on Twitter if anyone would be interested in seeing a bookshelf tour of my bookshelves. I have a number of bookshelves in my house, so I'm not going to do all of them in one video. I'm going to start with my one bookshelf that's in my living room. Hopefully I can get adequate enough lighting in there. But yeah, this is going to be the only time in the video you're going to see me. The rest of the video is going to be me behind the camera showing you the books on my shelf. The bookshelf I'm going to be sharing with you that's in my living room is mostly consists of books that I've read. A lot of the other bookshelves in my house are books that I have not read. So yeah, I have more shelves of unread books than I do of read books. And over the years, I've kind of there were certain books that I read and just got rid of. I either donated them to the little free libraries or pass them on. So yeah, let's get on with this. Okay, here we go with my first shelf. I'm hoping that this is not going to be boring for you guys to see, because I know a lot of you guys are here for horror and other things and comics and stuff like that. But yeah, this is my bookshelf of books that I have read and decided I wanted to keep the editions of these. But up first, we have Picasso. This book is really, really big. It's really massive. I have certain pages earmarked. I did teach a couple of informally art classes, and there was examples because Picasso's work over his lifetime was really, really varied. He created so many different pieces of art over his lifetime, and when I saw this, I think I got it from Barnes & Noble. I got it for really cheap, and I was like, oh man, I gotta own this. Even though I'm not really a huge Picasso fan, but I feel like a kindred spirit with him. I love the way he took chances with his art. And then of course I have this book. It's graphic stock. It's mostly just photoshopped images of photos. You're going to see there's a lot of art books on this shelf. Also next to that is the Essential Surrealists. Next to that, we have erotic art. Now, erotic art, this is something that a lot of people, this is from big artists. A lot of artists, you would never thought that they had done erotic art. Art that would kind of be considered pornography maybe to some people. But yeah, I found this and I was like, you know what, that's something that you don't see every day. So I'm definitely going to keep that. Impressionism. I have a couple of art magazines on here too, like American Art Review and a book about ceramics, which I don't know why I saved that because I'm not really a big ceramics person. This one, I'm hoping Jen Bernardini, I think you would really appreciate this one. Techniques of the Great Masters of Art. This is another one that I've got earmarked pages for when I was informally teaching art techniques. So that one, really helpful to kind of see how the masters had done their work. And then, of course, I've got my my yearbook from college, which I didn't even know that they had yearbooks for college, but they do. And you're probably like, yeah, we don't care about that. And then Van Gogh, who is another one of my favorite artists. I've got a paperback of his work. The Beginner's Guide to Drawing. This has got different drawing techniques with different media, such as charcoal, pencils, pen, ink, stuff like that. If you're into that kind of stuff, that was a really good book. And then moving on, we've got some comics. I always mention all the time that I am a very big X-Men fan, and this is the Complete Age of Apocalypse. This was one of my most favorite storylines. It's an alternate storyline that's kind of vital to a lot of the comic stuff that's going on with the X-Men right now. It's one of those storylines you should read if you want to, try to understand more or less what's going on with Apocalypse and the X-Men and all that. And that also includes the New Age of Apocalypse, which was like a series they did after that. And moving down to the other shelf below that, we have Orson Scott Card's Red Prophet. Red Prophet was book 2 in his Tales of Elven Maker series. Orson Scott Card did this Seventh Son of the Seventh Son book series. He only wrote like 6 books, but I absolutely loved it. And he's one of those authors who I don't agree with his personal beliefs, but I really enjoyed his writing. I really enjoyed the Tales of the Elven Maker series. It's kind of like fantasy, I guess you could say, like a high fantasy series. It was something that, like, when I had taken a really long break from reading, it was something that kind of got me back into reading. It was one of those book series that I really enjoyed. Very few horror books on this bookcase, but I do have Richard Matheson's graphic novelization by Niles, I Am Legend. Very good book. Maybe I should do a book review of that sometime in the near future. And then we have Ultimate Iron Man. And coming up next we have Marvel vs. DC Comics. I had a number of, what are they called? The amalgams, where Marvel and DC worked together and they combined their characters into interesting concepts, like their own characters. And then we have Just Imagine Stan Lee creating the DC universe. This is one I love this because it's a different take on DC characters, and it was like, Stan Lee did wonders for Marvel. I mean, he's one of the reasons why Marvel became so successful. And I wanted these, and I really enjoyed reading these because I think he does have an interesting take on characters. You can't, think on what you know of the DC characters, because this is if Stan Lee had created the concept and it's his own animal, it's its own thing. And then I've got Kingdom Come, which I did do a review of that one, and this of course has got the artwork from Alex Ross, who is one of my fave comic illustrators. And then we've got comics. This is a book about underground comics. Not your typical stuff. It's kind of like not safe for work kind of stuff, kind of mature themes. And then another horror book, we got Grimmiest, which is like the original fairy tales in their their original state. And then we've got Color, which is a color theory book, another art book. Because I really think if you're going to do art, you really should study color theory and the way color interacts and how you can use color to bring out or draw back scenes and just evoke different emotions and stuff like that. It's a really good book. I know that a lot of art curriculums don't teach anything about color theory, which I find to be very disappointing, because I think it's something that's vital if you're going to become an artist. I think you should definitely learn about color theory. Salvador Dali, another one of my favorite artists. H.R. Giger. This is examples of his work. If you're not familiar with H.R. Giger, he's the guy that they got the concept for the Alien. They used his artwork for that. Gustav Klimt, he's the guy that, this one, everyone knows this image. They should at least know that image. He's another one of my favorites, and he used gold leaf in his paintings. Degas, I'm a very big fan of Impressionism. And then, of course, I got a book about, my sister-in-law bought this one for me. This one, it's kind of outdated, I guess, because it doesn't really include, use of the internet and stuff like that, but getting exposure if you are. I guess you could kind of take some of the things from this and use it for other other venues, I guess, besides art. And then we got up next, we've got my Dune books. I probably have said this multiple times. I am a really big Dune fan. I used to collect every single Dune book that was ever written for the series. This is one of the prequels, The Winds of Dune, which I think this one focused on Jessica, who was the concubine of Duke Leto, and then The Sisterhood of Dune, which is a school book, and I intend to purchase it because it was really good, The Mentats of Dune. I have a art copy of it someplace, but I should probably purchase the hardcover. And I'm currently reading another Dune prequel. It's The Duke of Caladan, and I think that's going to be my last Dune book I ever read, because I feel like at this time, if Brian Herbert and Kevin Anderson continue writing this series, I don't think there's too much more they can really add to the series. And I feel like this newest book, it's all right, it's okay. It's really average. I'm almost done with it. I'm not going to do a review of it because I feel like it's that mediocre that I feel like I don't think that there's going to be that many people who are going to want to see the review of that book, because it's just kind of a niche thing. Not everybody's a huge Dune fan. It's not like Star Wars or these other, series that everybody wants to hear about all the time. But yeah, the prequels, these are really, really good, and I'd advise, if you have read Dune, and I'm one of those people who's in the camp where you should read all of Frank Herbert's Dune series, all up to Chapter House Dune. Great series. If you're into like socio-politics, religion, and all that philosophy type stuff, really great series. His imagining for the future of mankind, it shook me. I really, really enjoyed the series, and I recommend it to everyone else. If you want to get more out of the series, his son and Kevin Anderson had written these prequels to kind of help flesh out the world of Dune and how things led up to the moment of the Dune book. And there's the Butlerian trilogy, Butlerian Jihad, the Machine Crusade, the Battle of Corinne, and then there's the House books, which is House Atreides, House Harkonnen, House Carino, and then of course we got the other Dune, and then I've got a combined Dune Messiah. And what is this? I think it's some kind of map. Yeah, it's a map. But yeah, then we got, so that Dune Messiah and Children of Dune are combined. And I hope there's adequate lighting here, because this is kind of like in a little corner of my living room. It's kind of dark in here. I opened the blinds, but I hope you guys can see. This one, Navigators of Dune, is another School of Dune book. And then, of course, there's Paul of Dune, which revolves around, Paul. This one kind of, Paul of Dune takes place between Dune Messiah and Children of Dune, I do believe. I think the storyline's supposed to take place between those two books. And then I got God Emperor of Dune, Heretics of Dune, Chapter House Dune, and then last but not least, we've got the completion of the Dune series. I really, to be honest with you, these were garbage. I don't know why they split it up into two books. I felt like it was a cash grab that they split the ending into two books, and in order to understand what the hell is going on in this ending for Sandworms of Dune and Hunters of Dune, you have to go all the way back to the Butlerian Jihad to kind of understand, because those characters from those books appear in the final books that are the ending. The ending of the series, which I don't know why, and I really feel like the way they ended this series, I don't think was Frank Herbert's intention for the ending of the series. Because things got really, really good in Chapter House Dune, and they were really interesting. With this, these alternate, like, sisterhood group that had come from out in deep space. Like, it was a branch of humanity that had diverged and became something else then from what the Dune universe had. And really, really good ending. I mean, I think you can end the series right there at Chapter House and not even go for these, because I was so disappointed with this 2-part ending that, yeah, I just didn't feel like I didn't think it was a good, valid ending for the series. And like I said, I'm probably not going to collect any more of the Dune series. I'm just going to pick up the Mentanza Dune to flesh out my my collection. But yeah. So that's my first bookshelf tour. If you guys, I hope I didn't bore you with that. I know that most of that shelf was science fiction and comics, and I'm like scared that you guys are going to be like, oh, that was lame, and I didn't really care for that. And I think that's why I was kind of hesitant to do bookshelf tours, but I thought maybe it would be interesting to share with you guys. And I do have a number of other shelves that are in my house. I have bookcases all over my house, but I kind of need to organize them. And like I said, a lot of them consist of books I have not read, and I feel like, I know a lot of people do like decorations and stuff on their shelf, and I didn't really do that too much with that one bookcase, because for one, it's a small, isolated bookcase, and it doesn't really have a lot of room for knickknacks and stuff like that. So I hope that wasn't boring for you guys. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know down below, like, especially if you've read any of those books, like, commentary is very much appreciated. Like I said, I'm just hoping it's not boring and that you guys are not going to be like, oh, well, that sucked. What the hell did you do that for? But if you guys came here looking for book reviews and book recommendations, please hit that subscriber button, and while you're there, hit that notification bell. This has been Dan. Of course, I'm going to throw down my coffee link. I need the energy and the motivation. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. Peace.